Welcome to Crafty Little Beach. This is Julie. Today I have a Dollar Tree DIY for you. For this DIY, I'm going to use one of these little adhesive cork pads from the Dollar Tree that's got a great honeycomb shape and a Dollar Tree wood bee. And we're going to do a really fun little bee in a honeycomb and make a little standing sign. Now, this is adhesive, so it's got like you can pull off the back and adhere something to it. So I thought I would take advantage of that. And I'm going to add some honeycomb fabric on here. Now, this is a scrap piece of honeycomb fabric that I've had from previous years. I've noticed every year they come out with a slightly different one. You could also use the honeycomb burlap if that's all you can find. But I thought that would be fun to get the little honey cells inside. I just cut out my scrap fabric. It was just large enough. And I'm just going to give it a quick iron so it'll be nice and flat when I attach it. Now, I didn't think that the adhesive on the back of this little cork board was going to be strong enough to keep the fabric on there, so I decided to make it stickier by adding Mod Podge all over, and that seemed to work really well. And I just put a nice even coat and lay this on here. I have to line this up perfectly to make my scrap piece fit, but I was able to do it. Once I get it on there, I just use a dry paper towel to smooth that out, trying to make sure I don't get any bubbles and give that a dry so I can cut off the excess material. I usually do like to add the material first like this so I can cut things down to size, get a perfect cut. And I will be framing this out too, so it won't look rough or anything with the rough edges of the fabric. And I want to add that little bee to the front of it and make a cute little standing sign. And there's lots of different options for hexagon signs like this from the Dollar Tree. I have dry erase, I have like chalkboard, I have this adhesive cork, I have signs. I have found so many different ones. But I love the shape of it. To border it out, I'm going to use some of the thinner rope from Dollar Tree. And just like with signs, I'm just going to put some hot glue here on the edges. I use the thinner one because this is not super thick. And I thought this would do a good job of sealing that up. And it's going to look better than those white edges. And I guess this is for, like, they have different ones, dry erase, cork boards and stuff like that. You can put these on the wall. But I saw mine and I thought that should be a DIY. I go all the way around here, just making sure that I kind of meet here at a corner where I can blend that rope in where I start and stop. And I think that looks really cute. I'm going to attach it to one of these metal signs from the Dollar Tree. It's just a quick way to make a standing sign. I'm going to add hot glue back here. You could always use a stronger glue if you wanted for this part. But I think that should hold the cork on pretty well. It's really a lightweight little item. And test it out, make sure it's going to stand up. And since it's so light, it stands up really well. Now for the bee, I got this little wood bee from the Dollar Tree. I think he's so cute. I'm just going to have to paint him. Now, most of him is like the back part or the body. So I thought that part should be black. So I just go in with a paintbrush and paint the entire thing black, just because the bump out parts, it's going to be almost impossible not to get paint on those. And I can always add a few layers of the different colors I want on there to counteract that black. But I just did one coat. I'm okay if it's a little rough looking. It'll just save me from having to distress it when I'm done with it. And then for the bee stripes, I used a yellow paint pen. Again, going yellow over black, a little bit difficult, but I just used 2 or 3 coats of the paint pen to get that bright pop of yellow. But when the little pieces are already attached like this from the Dollar Tree, I find that is the easier way. And I was trying to think about what color I should do the wings, because they definitely need to be a color, but nothing too bright or anything like that. And I ended up just doing white. So again, just like with the yellow, white over black, I am going to have to do a couple of coats. But when I'm working with smaller projects like this, I find paint pens are really easy. Posca paint pens are definitely my favorite. I have these linked in my Amazon shop. You can usually get them on sale pretty cheap on Amazon, but I've also bought them at Target before and individual colors at, I think, Michael's. And I thought my yellow probably needed one more coat to pop against that black. And this is a really fun little bee to create. I've picked up quite a few of these because I think it's a really nice size for bee crafting. And of course, another coat on the wings as well. But he is about ready to go. I'm going to attach him to the front of that little beehive honeycomb once I get him finished painting. Now, I added some hot glue to the back, and at first I was going to kind of put him in the corner like that, but I think I would like him better in the center, so I had a little bit of time to move him to the center without any harm. And I think he looks really cute so far. I did want to add another little fun, like spring or summer touch by adding some grass to the stand. This is some of that faux grass for Easter at Dollar Tree Plus right now. I love this stuff for Easter crafting, but I thought it would be really good with this too. It's just a little mat like this, so I'm going to cut it here from behind. I cut it a little bit larger because you're going to need to cut it down a little bit. See how it has like that black mat that's visible? So you can go in and kind of cut that out and get it closer to the grass itself. And so I just cut a little rectangle there for the rectangular base. I thought that'd be a fun little touch. And then I cut a little slit about halfway so I can go around that little metal pole there in the middle. And I'm just going to attach it with a little bit of hot glue right here to keep it attached. And I think that added a little fun element to this spring DIY and made it like a little bit less plain. I love those little metal stands like that from the Dollar Tree, though. I always have some of those in my stash for crafting because you don't have to make a stand or anything like that. This is how it looks. I think it's so cute. I guess you could also add a few bees like crawling around in the grass down there too, the little wooden ones. Or you could also use resin ones. When I was on Amazon buying those little wooden bees, I also came across resin ones, which were really cute too, a little bit translucent. But here it is, our little honeycomb using that little tile piece and a honeybee from the Crafter Square at Dollar Tree. And I love DIYs